Hey, I'm Mike from BlindsOnline.com. I'd like to show you how to install your new premium 2-inch faux wood blind. Once you've unpacked your blinds and made sure you had all the necessary mounting hardware meaning your mounting brackets, your valance clips, your screws, you may want to take a quick peek at the blind. In this particular case, we're showing the 2-inch faux wood in color oak. This has a beautiful wood grained finish, even though it is a faux wood, meaning it's made to look like wood. It actually has the built-in grain, and it's a very beautiful finish. Once everything is unpacked, you can put your blind aside just for a few minutes, because the first thing we're going to do is install the mounting bracket. So place the blind down and locate your mounting brackets. Your mounting brackets are the metal brackets, we call these metal box brackets. And these are universal brackets, universal meaning that they can be used for either inside mounting or outside mounting. Open up the little doors that are on the brackets. These doors are hinged, so open them both up, just like that, before you mount the blind. And we're going to show you how to mount these as an inside mount. So we're going to start off mounting this blind inside the window frame. Okay, meaning inside the casing, just like this, so that the blind will be recessed inside the window when we're completely finished. Alright, so let's first pick up one of our brackets. Let's find a screw, and if you have a screw gun, that's great. That'll help move things along a little bit. If you don't have a screw gun, you can easily put the screws in by hand. If need be, it'll just take you a little longer. So the first thing we're going to do is take that mounting bracket with the door in the open position. I'd like to place the bracket all the way back in the window frame. Now we're talking about a 3.5 inch deep window frame here. So I'm going to go all the way back with this so that the blind will be completely recessed. And I'm going to put one screw straight up through the hole in the top of the bracket into the window frame, just like that. Okay, one quick shot. The next screw I'd like to put into the side. We have holes in the side of the bracket as well, so we're going to put a little screw on the side of the bracket just to keep that bracket tight to the window frame. Alright, so you have one up, one to the side. That bracket isn't going anywhere. Alright, I'd like you to do the same thing for the other bracket. Okay, again, make sure your door is open. I push it all the way back in the window frame, and I'm going to shoot one screw straight up into the window frame, just like that. The second screw we're going to put into the side. Okay. Alrighty. And we have our brackets completely mounted. Alright. Now the next step, we want you to grab hold of the blind, but don't bring it up to the bracket just yet. I want you to take your valance clips, okay? And there are many different styles of valance clips depending upon the product that you've purchased, but these clips all install very much the same way. They clip onto the headrail. Now when you clip these little plastic clips onto the headrail, we want to make sure that you find a good open space, that you're not interfering with any of the moving parts. We don't want this clip hitting anything when the blinds are being rotated or pulled up and down. So this is a good spot right here. Looks like there isn't going to interfere any, and I see another good spot right here. So we have our valance clips in place. Okay. Once the clips are in place, we're going to take the whole blind and bring it up to the brackets. Again, make sure those doors are open, otherwise you'll never get it into the brackets. These are your little doors. Okay, and just bring it up to the brackets and push it straight back into the brackets. Wow, that was easy. Okay, now once it's in there, I just want to take a quick look at it, make sure we even it out. Make sure we have an even amount of space on each side. So I like to slide this over just a bit so that we have about the same amount of space between the window frame and the blind on each side, which we do. Alright, once we have that figured out, we'll close the doors up. Alright, and make sure that when you close the doors, you give it a little bit of a shot so you hear that clicking. Okay, we want these doors to be closed tightly so that when you pull the blind up and down, the doors don't pop open and the blind fall out. Okay, so these need to be seated. You need to hear that little snap, that little click when you close the doors up. Once you have them closed, you can lower your blind. Make sure everything's functioning properly. Okay, you have your tilt cords here on the left side. That'll open and close the slats. Very nice. And the last but not least, we're going to install the valance. And the valance is the part that goes across the top to hide the metal rail. Okay. In this case, we have our valance clips in place. We're going to line the valance up with the clips. Here, this particular valance has a slot in the center, so we're just going to clip the valance clips into that slot, and we should be in good shape. That's one, that's two, And look at that, we're finished. So that's all there is to it. That's all there is to mounting your blind as an inside mounted 2-inch faux wood blind. Now, if you don't have the depth or you decided to mount your blind outside the window frame, the mounting procedure is very similar. We're going to use the same exact mounting hardware. Okay, those are your box brackets with the little doors on them. But we're going to mount the first bracket directly onto the window molding. Okay, and what we usually recommend that you do is hold the bracket up to the window molding so that the edge of the bracket is in line with the edge of the molding, and pencil mark a top hole and a bottom hole and pre-drill those holes. Okay, I would pre-drill that so that when you put a screw in there you don't split and crack your window molding. Okay, so once we have that up, we're going to do the same exact thing for the opposite side. We're going to take a bracket, we're going to pencil mark it, we're going to pre-drill it, we're going to put our screws in there, and that's what it should look like once you have your brackets installed. Once your brackets are installed, you slide your blind up into the brackets, you close the doors, snap the valance on, and you're finished. That's all there is to it. Now, if you decided to mount the blind up above the window molding, up here somewhere, okay, I'm going to ask that you order the optional spacer block, and the spacer block is available at checkout at no additional cost. And what that does is it goes behind the bracket like so, and it pushes the bracket out away from the wall so that it clears the window moldings, so that when you're lifting your blinds up and down or you're rotating them open and closed, it doesn't interfere with the window molding. Okay, so once you have that spacer block up against the window bracket, the blind bracket, we're going to bring that whole bracket up to the top like so. I'd like to rest the bottom of the bracket onto the trim, and we're just going to put a couple of screws right through the bracket, through the spacer block and into the wall, and that'll secure your bracket right to the wall. Now, if the screws may need to be a little bit longer than the ones we provide you. If need be, you may have to go to the local hardware shop and get some 2 or 3 inch screws so that you can get a nice secure mount. But that's the idea. You'll do the same thing for the opposite side. Again, place your blind in, close the doors up, and you're finished. So that's really all there is to it. That's a 2-inch faux wood premium blind. I'm Mike from blindsonline.com. If you have any additional questions, feel free to call. And thanks for watching.